Have you been feeling more emotional than usual this week? Like you're just about ready to react and there's something underneath the surface? That's not coincidence. See, there's a full moon going on, and a full moon means that the moon pulls the tides. It's not a metaphor, it's gravity, and your body is made up of 60% water, which means the same exact gravitational force that is pulling on the oceans is pulling on your fascia, your lymphatic fluid, and your spinal fluid. So, whether you know it or not, this is all going on with inside your body. And that has a huge role on how you're feeling and your emotions and what you should be doing because this is happening. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. Let me be specific about what's happening in your body right now. Your fascia, the web of connected tissue that runs through every inch of your body, is largely fluid. It bathes in water, and like all water, it responds to a gravitational pull. So during the full moon, that pull increases. It increases fascia tension that can shift fluid and move. And because fascia is directly linked to your nervous system, this shifts your nervous system and how you read your internal state. More fluid pressure means more nerve sensitivity. More nerve sensitivity means the emotions that were quietly sitting in the background suddenly have louder signals. This is not a weakness in you. This is just the body being responsive to the natural world. And that's okay. We just need to know more about it. Like in Chinese medicine, they understood this is just like any other thing in the five element system. The full moon amplifies water energy, the element governing the kidneys and the bladder. And the kidneys are taught to hold fear. They hold the deepest reserves of the life force. That's what Chinese medicine calls Jing. What a full moon often does, especially one as charged as this one, is it brings that quiet sitting energy to the surface. Old fears, deep exhaustion, and a sense of something unresolved that you haven't and might not want to or have been too busy to feel. See, Libra governs balance in relationships, and it's ruled by the kidneys and the adrenal glands, and those organs are ruled by fear, stress, and fight or flight. And this full moon is asking something specifically of you. Where are you out of balance? Where have you been overgiving, and where have you been undergiving? Where has your nervous system been running on stress hormones because of the relationships around you or the relationship with yourself? Here is something that is vitally important about this full moon because Jupiter is squaring the moon. Jupiter amplifies everything that it touches, which means that all those patterns in the background are coming to the surface in your relationships and in your body. And they're not going to get quieter. They're going to get louder as the full moon peaks until you address them or until you're forced to address them. So, I can tell you this because it happened to me this week. I felt this tightness in my back, and I knew that my kidneys were asking something from me. And what are they asking me? I had to ask my kidneys that. That didn't mean that I had to go work my lower back or stretch my lower back. It means that I had to be still, laying down on my back, focusing on what truly I was afraid of. And once I felt that nervous system shift in my back from breath work and from noticing that it's kidneys and noticing what am I holding this fear? What fear am I holding? My brain finally realized what my body was feeling. And I was able to go through this fear and understand the fear and honor the fear. And my body finally released that tension. And I'm trying to explain that you can't force by stretching or weightlifting or anything like that to feel this in your body. You must be still to feel this. So, what are you going to do with all of this information I have given you to work with the full moon in Libra instead of getting swept away by it? You can do three things. You can stop pushing because full moons are for releasing. They're not for starting things. So, whatever you have been white knuckling through, like conversations, projects, plans, anything like that, loosen your grip. Okay? Loosen your grip because the moon is asking you something and you need to loosen that grip to process it. Second, you need to support your kidneys with warm, rich mineral foods like black beans, kidney beans, seaweed, walnut, things like that. And you want to keep your lower back warm. So don't let that wind get to your lower back. Don't let that lower back get cold. Okay. Right now, under the moon, your kidneys need warmth, they need to feel comforted. Third, you need to move like water, being fluid with low intensity because fascia loves fluidity. Okay, because when you're fluid, you're flowing, and if you are stuck and stagnant, you're going nowhere, and that's exactly what you need right now. Before I walk you through these practices, I want to tell you that my full moon days look totally different. This is not a protocol video that I'm making. This is literally how I live my life. Okay, so in the morning, I do a gentle Qigong flow, similar to something that I'm going to run you through to warm and internalize all of this focus. Okay, and then I go into some gentle rope flow. I'm not trying to get tricks or patterns. I'm just moving with fluidity because specifically on full moon days, your body is demanding that you find your center and that fluidity. You cannot be anywhere else when a rope is moving in your hand. Every adjustment, every recalibration, every moment is finding stillness in movement. And that's the invitation of this Libra energy, is that balance, that yin and that yang. You are not fighting the energy, you are practicing with it. Now, I also want to speak directly to those of you who are not feeling soft and fluid, because I'm not always feeling soft and fluid. I just have been lately. Jupiter is amplifying these emotions. So if you're feeling frustration or anger or this overwhelming sadness that won't go anywhere, this needs to move. On those days, I pick up something heavier. On those days that I have anger or frustration and I haven't been able to work through my kidneys fluidly, I pick up a mace or I pick up a barbell or I slam a ball, but in a fluid way. That is the most important part. Okay, I am not going for intensity. I'm not going to grind. I'm not going to sweat. I'm not going to push through. I'm going for precision, for focus, so that I can meditate while moving, but it's heavy and precise and it's deliberate, and your body feels like it's still getting a lot of that intensity of workout because it is a heavy meditative practice. This is anchoring you. This is giving your nervous system the regulation that it needs while giving the body the strength and the confidence to build that fire. That's something I do. But at the end of every single practice, whether you're gentle and slow or whether you're being heavy and precise, you need to end non negotiably with something calm, like embracing the chi or embracing the tree qigong, something calm. Moon section, there's going to be a full follow along movement meditation that's going to have a lot of the things that I'm going to say right here. But I want to go ahead and in this video share a few things that you can do. You can take your hands and you can place them on your lower back where your kidneys are, okay, right at the bottom part of your rib cage. You can start to do circular motions behind you on that kidney area, warming up the kidneys. This is really bringing in that beautiful chi. And in this area, it is specifically what they call in Chinese medicine Ming Men. That means the gates of life. Okay, that's between your kidneys. That's the foundation energy that is stored in there. So I want you to do this for at least 90 seconds, breathing gently in through your nose and gently out through your nose, imagining that energy and that air going into where your hands are. Second thing you can do is you can take your hands and place them right back in that area where your kidneys are and start to do some spinal waves. So we can go side to side like a snake, or we can go front and back like a worm. Okay, that's going to really move that fluid and bring fluidity all into those kidneys. I really want to move these hips. Okay, so we want to do hip circles. We want to loosen this up. We want to feel as fluid as possible. So you can keep your hands on your kidneys, you can put your hands on your hips, you can do whatever you want with them, but I just want you to make hip circles around both ways. Maybe you want to hang forward and do hip circles. Maybe you want to lean back and do hip circles. Either way, you want to make sure that we are trying to move our hips around in a fluid movement to really get that fluid moving in the right area. I do that practice or some version of that practice, not because it's a strict ritual, but because I've learned over the years of paying attention that I do not give my body a conscious way to work through the energy. My body will find a way to use that energy, usually through creating a conflict that I didn't want to have, or an emotional response that I couldn't really explain, or 3 nights of not being able to sleep. The moon does that. It doesn't care, okay? It just makes you want to pay attention because it's pulling on you. Tonight, my wife and I are going to take a long, long meditative walk, okay? Probably along the beach because I freaking love the beach, but there's not going to be any agenda. This is just to sync with the full moon and see the full moon. And if it's cloudy and I don't see the full moon, it's still being out there and living cyclically. And that is a part of the relationship in the Libra side, having that relationship with nature. Okay, so I'm having that relationship with my wife, with nature. Oh, it's so much fluidity, and I'm just so excited about it. Every full moon, you should always go out and be with someone that you love, or a friend, or even a dog, so that you can share that moment with them. It's really important to understand this because before I could read these rhythms inside my body, every full moon something would be coming up. And I don't want to be fighting with my partner, my wife, for no reason. So now that I recognize it, it's vital that I do it. When the moon is full, I need to feel more gentle, more close to people, more grounded, okay? Because the moon is going to make all of that crazy chaos come to the surface, and it's going to affect my relationships. And I know it's not just me, and I know that these practices are going to help you, and they're going to help you pay attention to your own rhythms and your own rhymes. And instead of pretending that they don't exist and being surprised by the energy that pops up, you can have a map and go forward and move through these emotions and through these energies, because that's how cyclical living works. And that's what this channel is all about. I need to tell you what's coming next because it's significant. On April 9th, something is happening in the sky that has not happened in over 160 years. 5 or 6, maybe sometime planets are stacking, but this is 7 planets, and it's in a 24-day window. concentrated fire energy in Aries. And Aries governs the head, the adrenal glands, and the sympathetic nervous system. That is your fight or flight response. Okay. And so all of this energy is going to be hitting at once. And an unregulated nervous system is going to feel this in a reactive, impulsive, exhaustion, inflammation, burnout kind of way. But when you know what's coming, when you know how to prepare your body and your mind and the things you should be eating, you're not going to get consumed by this. So look for my next video about what's coming on April 9th with these crazy Aries planets stacking, and subscribe if you haven't.